All right, deep dive listeners, buckle up. We are about to plunge headfirst into the recent Me and the Boys wrestling extravaganza. And let me tell you, this event was just a whirlwind of chaos,
Oh, yeah.
packed with more action and, unexpected twists than you could possibly imagine. It really delivered on its promise of the wild and unpredictable in spades.
Absolutely. Our mission today is, well, to really unpack the seismic shifts that came out of that night.
Mm,
We're not just going to tell you what happened, but sort of why it matters,
right.
diving into the biggest wins, those really shocking betrayals, and of course the major title implications that are now shaping the entire landscape of this league.
Everything from like rising stars to some truly bewildering officiating. It's all in play now.
Exactly. Think of this as your essential shortcut, maybe, to understanding the intricate power play as those brewing personal vendettas and just the jaw-dropping moments that are currently driving all the action.
It's like getting the executive summary of a pro wrestling epic. So let's not waste a second. Let's jump right into the thick of it because the ladies,
Yeah.
wow, they didn't just take center stage, they absolutely dominated.
You're absolutely right. Kicking things off just spectacularly, we saw Mishi pick up a huge victory. Multi-woman, six-pack challenge cage match.
In a cage.
Yeah. And when we say cage match, we mean it was pure, unadulterated chaos. Tables were shattering, trash cans flying. Mishi was right in the middle of it.
And what's really significant here, you think, is that this marks her second multi-woman win in a row.
Exactly. She's proving she can thrive, maybe even conquer, in these really extreme, messy environments.
And she's just on an undeniable roll, isn't she? This isn't just a win. It feels like it means she's right on the cusp of the main event scene.
Definitely.
Potentially challenging for the top title. In fact, she's right next to the top and, well, could be on top as of Lucky 13.
Yep. She's officially set to challenge Selena Snow for the title there. Her diverse training, picking up skills from different factions, it's clearly paying dividends, giving her that edge.
That background really helps in these chaotic situations, I bet. This whole rapid ascent of Mishi. It's not just about individual wins, is it? It's like that classic wrestling story of new blood challenging the establishment.
It forces the current champs to either adapt or, risk being completely overshadowed.
And speaking of new blood-making waves,
And not to be outdone, right? We saw Diamond Danielle's undeniable breakthrough moment, a hard-hitting, really physical victory over Xena.
Cena of the Dreadnoks, that's big.
Huge. Xena's a formidable presence from that ruthless faction. And to really underscore the magnitude of this upset, you got to remember Xena had an undefeated record on Pop Culture Punch-Out.
Wow, undefeated. Okay, so that's not just a win, that's a massive statement. Dismantling a cornerstone of an established faction like that.
Exactly. And these aren't just one-off victories either. Both Mishi and Diamond Danielle, they've already publicly declared their eyes set on the mixed tag titles soon.
Ah, interesting. So, for those of you following along, what does this sudden flurry of activity, this kind of double dose of rising female power, really mean for the women's division overall?
Well, I think it signals a pretty fundamental shift.
Yeah.
These aren't just rising stars. They're like a wave of new talent actively shaking up the hierarchy.
They're not just winning matches, they're creating new stories, new paths to the titles that maybe weren't there before.
Precisely. This forces the whole division to evolve, prevents stagnation at the top, opens up exciting new matchups. Could we be seeing the rise of a new dominant force?
It's going to be absolutely fascinating to see what kind of impact they'll have at Lucky 13 and beyond. Not just individually, but maybe even together in that mixed tag scene.
Could be. Could definitely be.
And, these rising stars aren't the only ones completely shaking up the established order. We saw a totally different kind of upheaval in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Gingras picked up what you can only describe as a huge win.
Huge win, yeah. And what a memorable Rumble it was.
Memorable is maybe an understatement.
Yeah, probably. This was not your typical Royal Rumble. It really embraced that glorious absurdity that M&B wrestling sometimes just throws at you.
Like what?
Well, we had some truly surprising and frankly bizarre entrants, including a literal Gatorade bottle rolling into the ring.
A Gatorade bottle. Seriously.
Seriously. And believe it or not, Darkwing Duck made an appearance.
Darkwing Duck. Okay, now you're kidding.
No, these unexpected, almost cartoonish additions, they just amplified the chaotic charm of the whole thing, made sure it stuck in your mind,
A Gatorade bottle and Darkwing Duck. That sounds less like wrestling and more like a fever dream. But it really adds to that anything goes vibe of Me and the Boys wrestling. Sets it apart.
Totally. And the stakes for this Rumble were just through the roof. The winner gets that golden ticket, right? A championship shot. Champion of their choice.
Massive opportunity for Gingras then.
Huge. Now, moving from the absurd to the intriguing, another incredibly notable moment was the debut of King Dominator.
Ah, yes, King Dominator.
Secured a quick, really dominant win over Timbit Teddy Tremblay, who, unfortunately, oh boy, now holds an 0-4 record.
Ouch. That's a rough start for Timbit Teddy.
Really rough. But King Dominator, he cuts an impressive figure. 240 pounds, got that?
Yeah.
Someone described it as an Austin Aries kind of vibe.
Okay, I can see that. Agile, arrogant, super confident.
Yeah, exactly. Often with a flair for the dramatic. Yeah. And he certainly made an impressive entrance, arriving with a fancy chair. Like he's here to take a seat at the top table immediately.
Now, speaking of King Dominator, something jumped out at me from the notes about his debut. Apparently, one of our hosts made a comment about wanting to hang out at ringside with him.
Interesting.
That's quite a statement for a newcomer, right? Especially one who looks so dominant straight away. What could that mean? A pre-existing connection? Some kind of special treatment?
Or maybe. Is he getting a booker man in his corner already? You know, someone behind the scenes pulling strings? Or perhaps an enforcer role? A bodyguard? Someone to tilt the odds?
Right, could be anything. It raises questions immediately.
Precisely. And these unexpected elements, you know, from bizarre Rumble participants injecting pure chaos to a strong newcomer arriving with these tantalizing hints of backstage connections, that's the lifeblood of this league.
It adds layers to the drama.
Exactly. It injects fresh blood, creates unpredictable paths to the gold, and just keeps everyone guessing about who's really pulling the strings and what surprises are lurking on the next corner. Keeps it from ever feeling stale.
And speaking of drama and who's in control, let's talk about the shifting alliances and those shocking betrayals that just left everyone buzzing.
Oh, yeah. We saw Jacob Blackwood, the Preacher of Pain, the Grave Filler.
Great nicknames. Very welcoming.
Huh. Right. He took on Demolisher, the Sergeant-at-Arms. Both relatively new, only one previous loss each. So this match was incredibly pivotal for their climb up the ranks.
And Blackwood got the win.
Blackwood's win was highly significant, yeah. Secured him a prize spot in that four-way #1 contenders match at Lucky 13.
Which lets him bypass the usual QLW grouping, right? That tier for newcomers.
Exactly. A big shortcut. But here's where the story took a sharp, violent turn. The Stroop shockingly interrupted right after the match.
Just attacked them both.
Brutal attack on both Blackwood and Demolisher.
Why? What was the motivation there? Seemed kind of random.
Well, Stroop's motivation is crystal clear, actually. He's absolutely furious. He got jumped in the parking lot last week by members of the royal family and the Dreadnoks.
Ah, okay. So this wasn't random at all.
Not at all. He's looking for swift, painful revenge on guys like King Frenchie and Torch. Blackwood and Demolisher just happened to be, well, in the wrong place at the wrong time. Caught in the crossfire of his personal vendetta.
Shows how those personal grudges can just spill over and affect anyone, doesn't it?
Definitely. Then we had that highly anticipated match between Fallen Punishment and HR Mr. Tyrell. Scene was set, pretty straightforward contest expected. Then an utterly unexpected turn. DMP, who was previously aligned with Fallen Punishment, right, seemingly at ringside to support him,
Yeah.
brutally attacked his own teammate.
What? Attacked Fallen Punishment.
Viciously. Caused Fallen Punishment to win by DQ, obviously.
Oh, wow. And DMP's justification for that? I mean, that's cold-blooded.
He declared it a business decision,
Yeah.
a me-first mentality.
Yeah.
Just a stark declaration of his cutthroat nature.
The implications there are enormous. Fallen Punishment now advances to the same four-way #1 contenders match.
Where DMP is already a participant, sets up an inevitable, absolutely explosive clash.
You have to wonder, what's the real history there? The animosity between these former partners. Was this a long time coming or just pure opportunism from DMP?
Makes that four-way match suddenly incredibly personal, doesn't it? Not just high stakes.
Definitely. But maybe the biggest power shift, the single most impactful development of the whole night.
Ah, yes. Kuma's Den, the new super faction.
Revealed by Paul Heyman, of course, the notorious power broker. He brokered this major landscape-altering alliance. The royal family...
Frenchie, Lord Bizarre, Lord Kevin Hall, poor Timbit Teddy.
And the Dreadnoks. Nagahide, Torch, Road Pig, Demolisher. They're now all buddies with the Puma's Den.
This is truly massive. To quantify the impact for you, listener, this means A third of the league has just become allies.
A third of the roster. Just think about that. One massive unified force.
It immediately makes Puma's Den, without question, the most dangerous faction in Me and the Boys Wrestling. Creates a definitive big bad for the whole promotion.
It simplifies the story in some ways, but just amplifies the drama hugely. Smaller factions, individual heroes, they now have this monumental obstacle.
And of course, there's already counter-response brewing. The HRS has buddied up with the Order of the Helicopter Boys, trying to balance the numbers.
So it's not just individual rivalries anymore, it's full-blown faction war. A strategic chess match playing out with suplexes.
And you saw the immediate, brutal impact in the Only Heels title rematch. Great Puma versus Holden Rhodes.
Yeah, what happened there?
What was supposed to be one-on-one became a five-man gauntlet match. Holden Rhodes, the sole one-man bracket, facing the entire super faction.
5-on-1. The deck isn't just stacked against Holden Rhodes, it's practically a mountain of cards.
Exactly. Highlights just how dangerous this new alliance is and how quickly they'll use that numbers advantage. Ruthless.
These betrayals, these alliances, these power shifts, they reveal the intense, often ruthless strategic undercurrents, don't they?
Absolutely.
What really stands out for those of us trying to follow along is that knowing who you can actually trust. It becomes nearly impossible when the landscape shifts so constantly. It's a game of high-stakes chess, but with steel chairs. Everyone's a pawn or maybe a kingmaker.
So with all this chaos backstage and in the ring, what does it actually mean for the gold itself? Let's turn to the championship contenders because those titles are very much in play.
Good point. We saw Dellock and DUI secure their spot as #1 contenders. Won a chaotic 4-way tornado tag match.
Absolute mayhem in that one.
Their next challenge is now officially set. As the Team Insanity effect, they face the Helicopter Boys, Fingers, and Bad Attitude at Lucky 13 for the tag belts.
And it's worth noting, the Helicopter Boys have been incredibly dominant. They've essentially run the table in the tag division, holding those titles with like an iron grip.
This is a huge test for Dellock and DUI then.
Definitely. And what's truly unique, maybe a little insane here, is DUI's position. He's now set to compete in 2 title matches at Lucky 13.
2 in one night. That's absolute craziness.
Unprecedented workload, testament to his rise, but a massive challenge. Can he maintain focus, stamina, across 2 championship bouts? That's going to be fascinating.
Absolutely. Then, in the main event of the extravaganza, Angelo King defended the Me and the Boys championship against Frenchie.
And this was Angelo King's 3rd title match in 3 weeks.
Incredible feat of endurance, which earned him that special rematch clause with this hard-fought victory. The champ is proving his resilience.
The match, however, well, was unfortunately marred by significant controversy, which seems to be a recurring theme lately, doesn't it?
Feels like it. What happened?
While accompanying Frenchie, Lord Bizarre deliberately interfered. Took the turnbuckle pad off. Classic dirty tactic.
Buzzsaw again.
This blatant act distracted the ref, allowing Frenchie to capitalize. He got a good 5 count going on Angelo King, but couldn't get the pin.
So Buzzaw's interference directly impacted the count.
The commentator on record explicitly stated that Bizarre cost Frenchie the match. It was a clear, direct impact on the outcome.
And this brings us to what's become, well, an undeniable, frustrating, and incredibly consistent problem in M&B wrestling. The referee situation. It's not just a one-off error, is it? It feels systemic. We saw a ref suspended just last week for blatantly disregarding a tap-out by Holden Rhodes. Clear lapse.
And we saw critical missed counts in the ladies' cage match, too, leading one of our own commentators to basically declare the match unsanctioned because of the chaos and lack of control.
There's this palpable sentiment, right, from fans, even competitors, that the officials consistently make the league look Bush League.
You think about it. A sledgehammer somehow got in the ring during the Diamond Danielle match, undetected. A ref was in the way again during the Fallen Punishment match, impacting the flow.
And in the Holden Rhodes Gauntlet match, the ref missed Bizarre grabbing the rope to break a hold.
And even slapped him Holden Rhodes in the side of the head. Unthinkable bias.
It makes you question everything. Are they incompetent? Are they biased? What are their allegiances?
And the irony, as you pointed out earlier, is just thick here. The very person, Lord Bizarre, who is often complaining about the refs, is the one who directly costs somebody a match with his blatant interference.
So for you listening to all this, it really raises a crucial question, doesn't it? Is the officiating in Me and the Boys Wrestling a genuine systemic problem? Is it impacting outcomes, fairness, credibility?
Or is it a deliberate, chaotic element of the storytelling? A feature, not a bug. adding to the league's unpredictable narrative, forcing you to question everything you see.
Hard to say. But as we look ahead, Lucky 13 is rapidly taking shape. It's poised to be an absolutely major turning point for the entire league.
Oh, yeah. The card is stacked,
Yeah.
featuring the culmination of all these rivalries, betrayals, and power plays we've just been talking about.
Okay, let's just quickly unpack this epic night that's coming up for you. DUI, fresh off that tag win, challenges the champion for the Me and the Boys Championship. Huge.
Then Primetime P versus Killjoy for the QLW Championship. That title really defines the league's rising talent.
And our new #1 tag contenders, Insanity Effect, Dialogue, and DUI, again take on the dominant Helicopter Boys for the tag titles.
And we have that highly anticipated, incredibly high-stakes four-way #1 contenders match. Jacob Blackwood, The Reaper, DMP, and Fallen Punishment.
A match now just charged with that fresh, intense animosity between DMP and Fallen Punishment after that shocking business decision betrayal.
That's not just a match, it's a powder keg waiting to explode.
Plus, Puma's gauntlet match against Holden Rhodes for the Only Heels title, a title for the league's antagonists, right? That's going to put the new super faction, Puma's Den, to the ultimate test immediately.
These are far more than just matches on a card. They're the culmination of deep-seated rivalries, shocking betrayals, strategic power plays, promising incredibly high stakes, and potentially even more chaos than we've already seen.
So considering this recent rash of interferences, the formation of these new league-altering super factions and these persistent, almost farcical issues with the officiating, it forces us to ask, doesn't it? What does Me and the Boys Wrestling even mean anymore?
Is it still fundamentally about skill, about fair competition,
Yeah.
a true test of who's the best?
Or has it fundamentally transformed into something else? A stage for the ultimate power struggle where anything goes, alliances are fluid, and pure, unadulterated chaos just reigns supreme.
And how will this redefine what it truly means to be a champion in this unpredictable, constantly shifting landscape?
It's a question that I think will drive us all until the next bell rings and another chapter in this wild story unfolds.